All right, party people. So today's Saturday, November the 2nd. Tomorrow is November the 3rd, obviously. And we keep hearing about this November 3rd thing. And, like 9/11, there's way more movies than I actually realized. Even the Simpsons cartoon, we know about that. Allegedly, Matt Groening, however you say his name, the founder, guy of the Simpsons, allegedly a 33rd degree Mason. I say allegedly because I'm really not 100% sure. But maybe the people that keep saying it, they've done their research, so whatever. And it's not that the Simpsons, they just happen to have something in there and they gotta predict, they got it right. No. You gotta remember, when people see something happen like 9/11 or whatever, or not see it, but it happens. You know the old saying, like Lindsey Williams had told us a long time ago, the elite, it's like I don't know if they have to, but it sounds like they have to tell you what they're going to do to you in advance, and then they can just do it. Like they can't just leave you, not knowing. So they love to put it in their movies and little cartoons, and you're just watching entertainment, and then it happens later on. So you look at a while back, like what was it, a couple weeks ago, maybe a little longer ago. I said, guys, this false flag thing that's, potentially for November 3rd, the football game in Seattle. Like, go watch this guy's video. He had a German accent, he put a lot of time and effort into his video, showing you all the 9/11 connections. I mean, going back, not just a few years even, but, some pretty old movies. You look at Back to the Future, that was one of them, where it, had that, the 9/11 thing upside down, and the Twin Peaks Mall, then it was the Single Peaks Mall after, whatever it was called, after the thing happened, because, it's like, well, what, single and twin, Twin Towers, now we have a single tower in its place, So let's just assume that they do tell you in advance, and they know way, 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 way in advance what they're going to do, maybe even when they're going to do it. Although with 9/11, you're kind of hard-pressed, or we were, to see an actual 2001. It was always 9/11, that's it. Well, what year? And maybe they didn't know at the time. They just knew it one day on a 9/11, we're going to do this thing. Who knows? But at one point, remember the Matrix came out in, I think, 1999, the first one, and Neo's passport, or whatever, it expired on 9/11/2001. So they finally, well, of course, that's only 2 years later. Maybe they decided by then, 2001 is going to be the time, we do this or whatever. So this guy said, there's a lot of very, very similar stuff happening right now, and it has been happening for actually a number of years, pointing to 11/3 or November the 3rd. And it was very similar to 9/11, similar kind of scenery, destruction, terror event, catastrophe, something like that. And, they've got some with the Space Needle or whatever over there in Seattle, whatever that thing's called. Football games, the Batman movie, the Dark Knight Rises or whatever, that one. The guy's jersey is 19. Oh, you mean like 2019? Maybe. I say maybe because we don't know. My hope, though, is that enough people are start talking about this, and videos come online, that if by chance an event was about to happen, maybe, it's not going to happen. But the other side of that, when I think about it, well, if they've been putting movies out for years and years and years and years, just like they did, prior, just like 9/11, you kind of feel married, if you're them, you're kind of married to that at this point. Guys, we've been preparing this for 10, 15 years now, and, like a couple of people, a few people on YouTube put a video up, come on. Especially if it's a cataclysmic event of, earthquake, a fault line went off in the middle of the ocean, next to Seattle, and all of a sudden, Seattle's right there on the coast, basically. Something happened, Again, we're all going to be out here saying, we told you so, look, But at the end of the day, no, it was just an earthquake, or it was a tsunami, it was a such and such. We didn't, you guys got lucky, that kind of thing. So again, my hope is that for whatever reason it doesn't happen, or again, I feel like, gosh, imagine if it was still about to happen. And again, I say maybe Trump, with his team, the military guys he's got on, they're listening to everything now, and they're able to stop this. Nothing happens on the 3rd, 4th, 5th. Oh, everything's good. Are we ever going to know that was going to happen and didn't? No. So there's that. We just look like, no, we said this nonsense. Oh, another nonsense conspiracy theory. Turned out to be a nonsense conspiracy theory. But did something actually happen to stop the damn thing? As far as I'm concerned, if it was stopped one way or the other, you can call me any name you want to call me. You can call me a moron, a conspiracy theorist, tinfoil hat. You can call me every name in the book. If deep down something was stopped, even though we don't get to know about it, hey, I'm okay with that. That thing in Dallas the other day, President Trump's come in. The deep state sent him all these signs about, hey, Kennedy, book repository, James Comey standing in the book repository, from back when JFK was shot, all these subtle signals. Nancy Pelosi with the bullet casing thing on her wrist bracelet she talks about, come on. And then no news really reported on it except the local news station. Some guy, young man, was found with I don't know if he had body armor and a weapon, or he had something on him, and there's a couple of pictures of him being arrested next to a police car, and hadn't heard any more about it. What was that about? Because aren't you allowed to open carry, in Texas? Isn't there an open carry thing there? Why would he be arrested? He's doing what he's allowed to do, So I can't give you any more because I haven't heard any more. There's just this little minor thing. He's getting arrested. Was that their way of saying we knew this guy was about to do something? I don't know. But just some very suspicious things. So, anyways, tomorrow's the day. Saturday or Sunday the 3rd. And funny, I live near Tampa, Florida. It's Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus the Seattle Seahawks or whatever. And another funny thing I'll just tell you, someone I was just talking with, I'll say, kind of brought this to my attention. And I said, oh, did you notice the jersey, basically the whole uniform that the football team was wearing in the Batman movie, The Dark Knight Rises, which I think was the most recent one. He goes, look at the color scheme. It's basically the Seattle Seahawks or whatever. And I thought, oh, interesting thing to put in a fake movie. So there's that, but who knows? And then the other thing is, could you imagine if again, seismic activity, the deep state doing something out in the ocean, whatever, tsunami comes, and maybe it's more powerful than we would have ever expected, and over there, let's say, and maybe it's only 10 or 15 feet. Oh, we haven't had anything like that since 200 years ago, whatever it is, but it causes some kind of damage, and it's wide ranging and goes down the coast or something, I don't know, but because you got California right there too. But I thought, remember Cliff's global coastal event? That never really happened as far as I could, so far as we could tell. And that was some pretty powerful data that was pretty, I guess, intense, very, what's the word I'm looking for, was drawn out to, was the data, the words used, it was just too much, it was just so much was there, where did that get pulled from? If it's not going to happen, how the hell did this webbot pull all that data surrounding, all this, all this stuff that had happened, and the bodies, and just all this detail, basically, I guess the word I could have used, just detail, lots of detail, and for it to never happen. Again, that old webbot will trick you. Oh, well, that was 2 years ago, it was supposed to happen that summer, and it didn't, so another failed webbot, okay. And then, bang, year later, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, boom, there it is. And then you go back and pull up the report, and it's, oh my God, look at the detail, look at how he drew this, look at that, look at what he said about this, and there it is. Oh, well, sorry about your luck for not believing in the old girl, the old webbot. But I mean, I understand too. It wasn't always dead on accurate. But there were some things, it was just like, okay, we're reading the report, but then there was like key things that were big that really stood out. And then some of these things, another report 6 months later, a year later, it's got it in there again. There's more information on there again. And then there's another report, and there's more information again. So it's like, I asked Cliff about that, kind of like the silver, $600 silver, like, when's that happening? That's still in the data, yep, still in the data, yep, still in the data, yep, still in the data, yep. Okay. And he goes, typically when that happens, it's kind of just saying it's so like set in stone. We keep picking up on it like it's gonna happen. Like there's a real high probability of it happening. When? Yeah, we'll probably get that wrong, but it keeps showing up. It's just kind of reinforcing the idea that that's going to happen at some point. And the global coastal event, there was quite a bit of times where data surrounding that, similar data was coming in, and it's like, well, okay, we'll see. And I don't want to see that happen, anywhere, whether it's in my country or someone else's country. In a big global coastal event, people are, washed out to sea, whatever. Inland shorelines have now completely changed. Water sticking around. It'll recede. No, actually, it didn't recede at all. It's staying. Oh, well, that's odd. So, who knows? But just be vigilant. And here's the other thing. It's like, if you. Well, I was going to go to the game, Sunday. I live out near Seattle, I wanted to go to the game, but now I'm scared, if nothing happens, you feel like an idiot. Oh, man, I should have just went and lived my freaking life and been happy and just, screw this crap. But if something does happen, then all of a sudden, you are way more thankful and happier than you would have been if nothing happened and you went, because you're just going to be a little pissed off. Oh, stupid conspiracy. I should have just went to the damn game and enjoyed myself. Ate my popcorn, cheered my team on, drank a beer, had a hot dog. But if the opposite happens and you actually decided to stay home, and it was like, oh my God, something major happened, you would be a million times more thankful that you actually listened to this stupid conspiracy theory and stayed home, or whatever. Of course, the other question is, well, when I say home, where's your home in relation to the coastline or to whatever the hell happened? Then there's that, So anyways, again, not trying to doom and gloom you, but there's just sometimes when, maybe we ought to talk about this and just kind of get the word out, let other people, YouTube, start spreading it, talk about it, just put it out there. Hey, if it doesn't happen again, I'll be just as happy as I, am right now, driving over to my brother-in-law's house to help them install a new motherboard in their computer. And I'm going to teach his son, my nephew, I'm gonna let him do it. Show him how to do, replace the motherboard in the computer, and he can brag to all of his friends. Hey, I had to rebuild my computer, and I did it myself. Because always, when you're younger and you've accomplished something kind of big, like I've never done that before. You feel kind of excited, a major achievement. Like cool. Of course, you want to tell your friends about, oh, I built this computer. Oh, you did that? Be exciting. So. I told him the other day, I said, well, we'll see if you can find that same exact motherboard online, which he was able to find it new, because it's an older board. And I said, all right, we'll get it, and I'll come over and install it. And I said, well, maybe I'll teach Herbie Lee how to do it. He goes, oh, yeah, he'd probably like that. I said, all right. So he gave me a text, or sent me a text a little while ago. So I got ready and said, oh, I'm heading over. Might as well do a little video on the way just because. Gotta talk about some stuff these days. So, be vigilant, be aware, but, you gotta live your life too. Just very odd to me how they put this stuff in the movie so much, and lately, again, to me, it's kind of, in our face a bit too much for me to just pretend it's not there. Got a few people email me, Joe, man, you ought to talk about that again, bring it back up again, let's put it out there again. We're getting close to the date, and, just in case. I'm like, yeah, come to think of it, you're right, yeah. What harm's it going to do for me to just drive in my car and talk about, a crazy conspiracy theory? Nothing at all. So, anyway, I guess that's it for now. See how cryptos do this weekend, and we'll go from there. Take it easy.